Hi, my name is Wendell from the Walk on Clouds channel, and this is another video of personalization. And this time I'm going to talk about the site mapping, and I'm going to show in a very hands-on way of how it works. And first of all, what is the site mapping? Site mapping is a code, and this code is going to track a website. It's only for web. It's not going to work on the mobile environment, but this will teach a lot how the personalization works. It teaches a lot of how the things that you can catch from the users, because everything that we can do with sitemap can be replicated using API and also can be replicated with using the mobile tools. And if you learn the web version, the web SDK is going to be easier for you to learn the other things. I'm going to try to be the most simple, the most basic possible in this video, because even if you're learning to get a certification, this is kind of a big chunk of the certification of personalization. And it is a great idea to understand the code, because that will bring a lot of data to your personalization. That makes the personalization works, because without data, you don't have anything. You can't work with it. And if you see like those steps, everything will be clear. If you skip this video, the whole thing will not make much of a sense. Try to do a little bit of effort, but maybe code is not your thing, but you have to give it a try. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you're not, but give it a try. Here we are at NTO, the Northern Trail Outfitters, and I'm going to do everything from scratch here. Like, I'm going to clean the sitemap that I copied in the other video, like from the documentation. It was a very big code, a very big chunk of code, and I'm going to clean it and start from the basics. But let's go to this website, like the documentation, and here on the documentation, the developer documentation, there's a section here that's web integration and get started with site mapping. And this is going to show little steps that, like this, inject SDK and put the visual editor. We're going to use this thing inside of this extension, this Chrome extension. This is a very important way of coding and more easy way to code. Showed some steps on how to use the sitemap, but this is not the important thing. The most important thing that we're going to have here, it's like at the end of everything, like here, initialize the sitemap, like the last section. And you see that there are kind of two minimal code to start. At the beginning of personalization, we only had this kind of code here that we called it a namespace, that it's Evergage. Evergage is kind of lots of libraries and stuff that you're going to use that's inside of here. But now there's a thing that's Salesforce interactions. This is the old version of code. This is the new version of coding. And you may be wondering why there are two ways of code, why there are two namespaces. This one is older, like I said, and this one is new, but why there's a new way to do it? Because the same code can be replicated to work with Data Cloud. And Data Cloud will not accept the old version of code. You have to do some changing, some modification to work with Data Cloud. Maybe the Data Cloud is the future. Polemic. But don't worry, personalization is not gonna die so soon. It's gonna take some time. Okay, let's go. let's copy this new version here. Let's click to copy. I'm going to go, and I'm here at the Northern Trail Alt features. I'm going to activate the visual editor. That's a pretty interesting thing. Let's turn it on. And I forgot to say, but in order to this to happen, you need to be in personalization, and you need to be in Marketing Cloud. You have to log in Marketing Cloud, and you have to be like working in personalization. It has to be like a valid login, because sometimes if you wait too much inside the personalization, you log in, you'll kind of goes out if you do nothing, and you have to kind of give a refresh. Okay, and now let's go to this sitemap. You see that this thing appeared here. And let's click on the sitemap. Okay, I've cleaned everything from here. Let's put the new code. But look, there are errors, but I'm going to teach you everything what are those sections. And you see that this is the first part, is the cookie domain. The cookie domain, you have to put like the website, like Northern Trail Outfitters. Okay, it's okay. It's a very simple, and you have to do it. Some people say that it's not obligatory, but I saw a lot of errors if you don't do it. It's a great thing to do. And you see like these sitemap configurations. And this is the biggest thing that you're gonna work. It's inside of here. You see like the global and the page types. And you may be wondering, what's the global and what's page type? The global, it's the things that don't change in your website, and the page types are the things that change a lot. And what do we mean by that? This is the section that you're going to put the configuration of like this part, like the header of the website it's the thing that don't change. If we go to another page, you're going to see the same header again. And also with the footer, those are the things that don't change in your website. Let's go to another page like the kids. You see, there's this header here, like the same thing on the footer. It will not change, but the middle, they change, like this image. It was not in the other page. And the things that don't change in your website, you should put on the global. Like you want to personalize this section, you're going to use like a thing on this section in the global. If you want to capture like the login of your customer, you're going to put on the global section. But if you want to capture, like if we click it here on the toddlers or whatever, you have to put on the page type that this is specific for this page. Like you can do, like a thing that you can do is like catch if the user put it like an email here, inserted something, and click it on this button, I could catch this behavior, and this behavior is located in a thing in a place that does not change. I can use like this catching in the entire website, and those things that we have to put in the global section. And the page type and the global section, you see that it's an object. It's a single object. Page type is different. Page type, it's an array of objects, because every page is going to be an object, and every object is going to be a different thing. And what it does, because you're going to put an array of objects, an array of pages. When the beacon when the code it starts, it's going to search in each of those objects where the user is. If he's in the home, if he's in like in the cart, if he's in a section, is seeing a product, those are page types. See, I'm going to show here like a page type. This is one page type. This is the home page, and it's a page that is different from a product page. This is a product page. Is a tent, a dome. Let's go back to the home page. And this, it's another kind of page here. I can see like this. Okay. And here, like, it's a section page. This is woman or man. I can click here. Okay, I click it here and I see a section page that's man. I'm going to click, let's see, jacket vests. And this is a special page it's a search. It's a search because it's searching like lots of main clothes. And you have to put like color and the category, activity. It's a different kind of page. And each of this page, you're going to create a different object. Let's do a very simple page type. Okay, this page type, the first thing that we have to create, it's inside of the object. The object, it's like created with this curly braces, sorry. And the first thing that we need is obligatory thing. That's the name of this page type. We are going to call it home page. And after this, we are going to use a method that's the isMatch. And this can be like an arrow function. And what we normally do, it's like to use a regular expression to test if the web page is the home page. Like if it has like this little thing here, like home page. And like we normally use this. This is the regular expression. This is like the dash, slash. And here is like a slash home page. And we're going to see if the link, it has this section here that is the path name, contains this slash homepage. That is the logic that we are using here. And let's test. We only need this thing to see it. I'm going to execute, and let's see if the page matches. It matches the home page. Sorry, there's a lot of clunky things here because it was from the previous site mapping. I'm going to save. Okay, I'm going to refresh for you to not see those things. Okay, I refreshed this page. It's a kind of a little glitch, but you only see like this home page. But if I go to another link like this one, it kind of refreshes the beacon, and you will not see home page because here we don't have the home page path name. That's a new other thing that we could track. It's the page type is a different, and here is another kind of page that we could like track, or if the user is entering, is the product page. But there's a little problem with this page because in the path name, it doesn't say that it's a product page. It says like the product. It has like the name of the product and the section of it. Is men, bottom, and casual. You have to understand, you have to see another thing that it could say that is a product page. Inside of this website, you have to inspect, or you can find someone that works with it to give you some details of technical details of the website, to show like how can I track here. If there are some ID inside of this website, I'm going to use some inspecting tools. And here, there's a funny thing that it's this div. This div has a data action that's product show. This kind of a little hint of what a page is. And if I search if this div works, if this div exists, I have a product page. Okay, I'm going to copy a little bit of name convention. That's the product detail name of this page type. And I think that you have to note that you got notice it's this underscore, because it's the snake case convention. You have to put like this in lowercase, and every time you want to give a space, you have to put underscore. Okay, let's have some fun here with the inspector. Like, how do I track this thing, like this element? I could use like the document.query selector all or query selector, but I'm going to use the query selector all for now, and see if there's an element with this data action thing. Okay, oh, sorry, I have to use some escape code here. And see, I have one thing here. That is the page. I found the element using this query. But I'm going to copy it here. And this should work. It's not a great approach because it's better thing if I have a true or false. Then I will see if this has a length bigger than 0. It's true. Okay, it's true. I'm going to copy this code and put it here. It will work, but Salesforce is not like this. Salesforce wants you to use their convention, the name convention, their own methods. Methods to, instead of document query selector all. Okay, let's only test this if it's gonna work. Let's execute. Oh, it worked. It worked like a charm. But we need to change this naming convention because Salesforce is not like this, and they want you to use their naming convention. And there is a function that has this name here, like Salesforce interaction.cachedom is their way of creating the same code, the same thing. This does not do anything different. Okay, what other things what we can do here? Okay, let's return to the home page, only to see if this is gonna trigger. Oh, it triggered the home page. And okay, there's something that we could use inside of those page types, that it's the content zones. It's a very important information what the content zone is, because many people do not know, and they see everywhere inside of this tool. And a content zone is like this big banner inside of this website is a good example of a content zone. Like this is a carousel, but imagine if you want to like personalize it. I want to change the pictures using personalization according with the behavior of the user. I could like select, put like a mark inside of this place. Like this could be a personalized, that it could be like a place to personalize stuff. We could do like another thing, like inside of a section here, put like recommendation. There are plenty of things that you can do with web campaigns and these content zones. Okay, let's insert a content zone. We have first to search the selector of this container here, and I already have it. It's this dot experience carousel banner carousel is this div, and you can put many content zones inside of a single page. And you see here that it's an array of objects. And the first thing that you have to put inside of this array, is a name. You have to call this content zone by something. And the selector is this thing, the CSS selector. And this will delimit the content zone. Let's execute. I'm going to save it. A content zone does not need the selector, but is a very good thing to put. Here inside of the code, the official code for this website, I saw this name, this content zone that's home pop-up. It's for a special kind of web template. It's for a web campaign that's a pop-up. It doesn't need a place to put your things because it's going to show above your website. Okay, I haven't showed like example of how to use this global thing, but here everywhere in a page type or in a global, I could use something that it's a listener. Like I said, the user could put here like the email, and this could be an interesting thing to catch. And inside of this listener, it's a section is an array. And if the user is going to put like the email address, it's a thing that we want to track, like if he clicks in this button, and we could put like a thing on this button to send to Salesforce. And here it's the listener section. It can be like on the global and on the page type, and it's an array. The example here is it used like the Salesforce interaction listener, and if the page has a submit and the selector, it's this email sign up. That's the selector of this form, and we'll get the value of what is written here. And if it's not empty, send to personalization and interaction, and send like a user information of the email address. And this is a very interesting thing to teach. That is the interaction. It's going to be a message on this event stream that we are going to see, because here we don't see anything. But if you use this interaction thing, you're going to see. Let's do this on this home page. Let's create an interaction that it used to be only action. It was only action. You could put like action, and then the name, that's home page. But with this new namespace, is not gonna be so simple. It's interaction. It's an interaction, and the name is going to be like the home page. And let's close the object, and let's execute to see the things happening. And here you see inside the personalization we have an interaction that's named home page. We used to call this action. And you see like if the user has done something. And also you can see like the content zone. The content zone appeared here, like the home hero and the home pop-up. And here I see like the home hero that I configured here with the selector, experience the carousel banner carousel. And there's the home pop-up that's invisible because it's in the top of everything. And also you see that is a listener here on the submit of this email thing. That's everything that is going to be shown here. And let's think, oh, maybe I'm going to go to this web page, and you see, oh, it did not trigger anything. This is not going to show anywhere. That's a bad thing. I would like to know if the user is inside a non-tracked page. How do we do it? I haven't told you, but there's a specific thing that's not global and not page type. Okay, we can put like this third thing, that's the page type default. And here inside of this page type default, we could put like a simple thing, that's the name that's going to show here. And we can use like an interaction inside of it, like default page, for us to see here inside the personalization. And let's see it. Let's execute. And here you see like the default. It's a non-tracked page that I haven't chosen a name. You could see like here inside of sitemap on the personalization that I triggered an action that's default page that I haven't decided any name, and there's no selector, is not a way to see it. That's a very interesting thing to know the not tracked page, but you can live. It's an optional thing. Let's go back to a page detail. Okay, we are back at the page detail, the product detail as a product page, and we would like to trigger like the catalog, because we are seeing a product and it's a great thing to see the integration with the catalog. Because if I'm seeing an item, I'd like to know how many people is seeing the item. And for that, we need like this, the main thing is to have an ID of the item. And here we can see at the page an ID of the item. It could be hidden, it could be another place, but it's here in front of everything. Let's put a different configuration here on the product detail, that it's also an interaction. Let's put a name, but this name is going to be different. We're going to use this thing, that's the view data catalog object, and we're creating this thing that's the catalog object, and we are inserting this piece of code that's the catalog object, and with the type of a product, that's the kind of catalog. Like you see here, catalog product, it's a product catalog. You have to specify which kind of catalog the user is seeing. And this product, as I said, and this product that I'm seeing, it has an ID that I have to show. Okay, the ID, I'm going to use this cache DOM and track and get this value. And this value is taken by this attribute thing. Okay, let's see it. And here I'm doing like a more simple approach that's going to take the text. I'm going to use this selector here, like of this little thing. Okay, I'm going to take this text here, like is visible, that you have an element that has a product ID as a selector, a class selector, and this element that I found, and the inner text. Let's take the text and use it as an ID. I'm going to execute and see there's a product ID in a catalog data. I was not having this. Okay, I'm going to go back to another page and go to another one and see it. It's working. It's taking the ID. And that's the minimal way you could work with this ID thing of this catalog thing. See here in the side of personalization, you have the view item, and you're taking the item of a catalog. And if you go to the user, you're going to see like in the catalog that he saw some idea of a catalog. Unfortunately, I don't have this in my catalog, but if you have all the information, it should show like the image like this. Let's do a summary of what is site mapping, what you use it for. It's site mapping. It's JavaScript is going to catch the behavior of your customers, on your website. It's only for website, and you have the power of using it for modification, but never do it. Don't use this JavaScript code to modify your website. The maximum you can do is select where the personalization will be. For that, you have to have a little knowledge of CSS Selector, but never do any modification of your website using the sitemap by itself. And you have to do it with web and server-side campaigns that we can do, you can see in other videos. The global configuration, it's like the configuration that's going to be specific on part that they don't change across your website, and things that you're going to be constantly seeing. Like we could take like the local, or where the person is, which language is going to be using, like the content zones. We could like put like content zones here, like, oh, I want to show like a content here, like a flash sale little banner here, and that could be like a great thing to use a content zone. Page types are different pages, like it's what it changes in your website. Like the home page is different from the product page, it's different the categories or search, that is different from cart. Those are like 4 different page types, and you have to track which kind of page types you have in your website, and you have to understand if it's really useful for your strategy. And a funny tip that I would like to give is this website CSS Dinner is good to learn, like CSS Selectors is a good skill for implementing site mapping, because you're going to analyze like the elements, like to put selectors, like to create content zones and other things. This is a really good game. And I think that is it. This video could be a lot longer. I don't know, maybe I can create a second part telling more stuff, but okay, I think that's, including for beginners, are kind of too much. And I have to finish. And that's it. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I see you later. Bye bye. Tchau, tchau. Até mais.